So what's
Hey,
the
what's
word,
up,
my
Chris?
friend?
How you doing?
What's going on,
Hey,
Pain?
listen. Hey, fine. I'm hanging in there. Hey, listen. I just came back from an anniversary week with my wife. 36 years.
Nice.
36 years, man. We
How'd
spent
you make it 36
Congratulations,
years,
bro.
Arpane?
Hey, listen. I sit back and say, where's all the time going? And I can tell you, my marriage, as far as I'm concerned, has been a lot more bliss than anything else.
Is
It's
it?
been a I mean, all this stuff I hear on these YouTube spaces on how hard marriage is
Mm,
really bothers me because it's hard to tell people that I think when you go into a marriage thinking it's going to be very difficult and all that, I think you're going in with the wrong mindset.
mm.
I think, you know, and this last guy you just had, I'm not this guy who just had a mic problem, but the brother before that, he was,
Dennis.
I was. Yeah, because I was like 25, 26, 27 when I met my wife. And for 6 months, I stopped trying to even get laid, man. I was looking for a wife, big time. And when I ran into her, it didn't take me but 5 months before we were engaged.
Mm.
5 months. I met her. I spent a lot of time with her parents. She was still living at home. And even though, she wasn't that miracle virgin that everybody wants, like you, Anton, but,
I don't know what
she
you're
was,
talking about. Listen, I'm just
huh?
a regular. I'm a regular guy,
Yeah.
man.
But the fact is that I felt her spirit and all that kind of stuff. She was just, man, all over me, man. But my aunt, who was my guardian, because my mom passed away. My father was still in the picture, but he couldn't raise us. He was working 16 hours a day. When she met my aunt gravitated to her like a magnet,
Mm.
and she didn't like nobody. But as soon as I introduced her, she flashed a couple of those dimples, and when my aunt met her, I said, "Oh, okay." I'm not crazy. She just loved her. Everybody loves her. She was good for me from that standpoint because everybody who met her said if this idiot is with her, he can't be that bad.
Mm.
You know,
Do you
because she
think that you look at relationships the same way that you looked at them? Like, how do you see it differently than when it is that you first got married?
with me and her now, I
Yeah.
think we
Like, how do
love.
you
Is
see
that
it?
what you talk?
Like, do you value the same things? Do you do some of the same things? Like, how do you keep it fresh? How do if 35, what is it, 35, 36 years later?
You know how we keep it fresh? It's kind of funny. Uh, Here's a couple of things. There's a little backstory for my whole marriage. Right, my wife has always been accommodating to me if I was in a mood. Always. Never a weapon. She never used her sex as a weapon or a reward. Ever, 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 ever. And I wasn't that hard on her, but now I think we're almost closer than ever, man. I mean, every day we kiss each other. Every day we hold each other. Every day. And when I keep it fresh, we leave the house and go, maybe weekend trips here and there to a hotel. We set it up with, wine, this and that. Bring the magic bag so we can have fun and shit. And we do that, and she's just like almost like I'm comfortable. So we have a good time together. I mean, it's all the time. We always like even when we had kids, we always made time where me and her were together without the children. Always. And everybody I knew who always took vacations with their kids, I always tell them, you're making a mistake. Take your wife and tell somebody, I told my kids, I said, listen, if you got to eat mud for a couple of days, me and your mom are going to go hang out. Right. So we found, we didn't leave them it was an in law or somebody like that, but we always found time for each other.
So you
Always.
so you think
Always.
that so basically you think that the thing that keeps it fresh is the fact that she never really denies you?
No, no, not just that. It's deeper than that. It's
Okay,
just deeper. That's
explain it to
one
us.
thing. Huh?
Explain it to us. Give me the game.
Well, it's just, one, she trusts me. And whatever the definition of submission is, she submits to me. And I've made all the decisions, the big decisions in our life, I make. And she
Okay,
had
so
no
let me ask
problem.
you a question. Let me ask you a question, Arpane.
Okay.
Here's the real question. It's a hypothetical. Obviously, I know it wouldn't happen because
Okay.
after 36
Uh,
years, it's 36 years. Is it under what circumstances would you ever leave?
Would I ever leave her?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, if somebody was busting those cheeks, man, I'd have to go, man. If I ever found out, if I ever found out, man, somebody else was busting those cheeks, I gotta go. And
You
even
got
you
Okay,
to.
know,
wait,
and,
wait,
and
wait.
and
Hold
when
on,
you rip
RP.
me,
Hold on. Here's a
but
question. Here's the other question.
I mean,
You
even if
got
it
to
would
go.
financially destroy me because she depends on me, you know, and she put a couple of bows in her hair and go cry to the judge, man, I'll be on the side of the
Hold on.
to the
Okay, so hold
side
on. I got a
saying,
different question for you, RP. I got a
okay.
different question. What if you found out that something happened? So you 36 years in. What if something happened at year 20? So now, 16 years later, she say, "You know what, baby? I just want to confess something, but I haven't done anything since, and I didn't do anything before." Would you still rock out?
Okay, all right. Listen, I told my wife this, right? I said, listen, if you ever cheated on me, you take that shit to your grave and don't try to get no absolution on your deathbed. You know, hope I die before you. If you dying, and you feel that you gotta confess some shit, I'm gonna be mad as hell, man. I'll cremate your ass. I don't wanna know.
Wait,
You know, but
R-Pain, you willing to forego the bag and completely just lose all of the bag for
well,
that?
listen, I'm different than a lot of guys, right? Maybe I'm not, but I my mind is too imaginative of having the thought of ever being close to my wife again after she let somebody open her legs, bust it down, stick her from behind, maybe put it in her mouth. How am I ever, sperm? How can I ever get over that? How can a man ever get over that shit? I don't know how anybody could do it. I couldn't do it. I
Damn.
have to admit it. I have to admit it.
Oh,
I mean, our life would be a living hell if I was still here. She would leave
oh,
me because I wouldn't touch it no more, ever. No,
oh.
no. I mean,
R-Pain,
that's
you
just
are
me, man. I
hilarious,
think
man.
there's a one unforgivable. Hey, listen, there's three things I wanted from my wife: respect,
Uh,
loyalty, and exclusivity. Those are the top three. Love was somewhere down in there with the romantic, all that romantic bullshit. I'm just saying. I mean, what else is there? I mean, my wife has. I've given my wife everything. I mean, she'd be better off when I'm dead. After you give a woman all of that shit, man, the least you can do is not let somebody bust that shit down for free. Get the fuck out of here, man. I can't. No, no.
wait, but again, R-Pain, but what if she said, I gotta get this off my chest in year 15 or 20. This is what happened. But for the last 15, 20 years, it's just been you, baby.
Nah, man. And listen, this is a crazy ass hypothetical. I told you what
No,
I
it's a
thought
real.
about
It's
all
a
that.
real. Let me tell you why, R-Pain. I'm asking you this question
Okay, tell me why, brother. Tell me
because
why.
you have been married for a period of time in which I think that what you say matters more, or it holds more weight when we start to have conversations with people that are observing this, and they may have dealt with some of this type of stuff, right? And so I'm asking you because I'm curious as to what you would do, considering that you've been married for 36 years, right?
It's real life. Yeah.
No, no, it's real life. Let's put it this way. I mean, I think I've been asked this question before, right? My wife
I
has
think
her
you would
own way.
crash out. I think you would crash out, our pain.
Like crash out meaning what? That I'll
I
just
don't. I don't
dead
think you
and
would just
break?
walk away and that would just be the end of it. I think you might be on the news, our pain.
No, 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 I wouldn't do that. No. I just can't. First of all, in my mind, let me put it to you this way, because nobody knows how they're going to really react. But in my mind, it's just no way I can get over it. I can't forgive her.
If it
I
was,
can't.
even if it was
Oh,
20
wait, first of all,
years,
If it was
I
20
couldn't
years
forgive
ago,
her
you
that.
couldn't forgive her, our pain.
If it was, listen, okay, let me put it to you this way. If it was 20, I'll concede this to you. If it was 20 years ago, I would tell her, just make sure you don't never admit that shit to me. That's
Well, she
all I'm
already
saying.
told you. She would already tell
yeah,
you.
the cat's out the bag.
I'm thinking, no, man. I'm thinking it could be 20
Hey,
years
I'm just tell you
ago
what,
or
our
today.
pain.
Because if it was 20 years ago, I would never believe her that was just once. I would never believe that.
So you go. That's it. 20 years ago, it don't matter. You gone.
Yeah, I mean, right now, shit, man. You know what? I said, listen, I'll find me a little apartment somewhere, man, and and my cubby hole, man,
Well,
and
yeah,
I lose, because she's gonna take everything.
I'm
A
not. I'm
judge,
not. I'm never.
a
Listen,
judge.
let me tell you something. I'm never moving out of my place.
Well, I'm just saying, I'd probably get kicked out because in a divorce court, they would take everything from me because she's been relying on me for the last 30 years.
Damn, our pain. That's crazy.
That was a
Well,
good question though, Anton, because
I gotta ask
it's
the
it, is-
questions. I'm gonna bring you up in 1 second, Q.
it was a good question because like there's a lot of nuances to that question. Like that woman that you're describing, she might have helped our pain build his business. She might be an important part of the business. You
He
feel what
willing
I'm
to. He
saying?
willing to throw all of that away.
well, okay, let me ask you a question since you've given me. How could I possibly stay? How could you possibly stay? I'm asking you a question. How can you stay when she says, you know what, let me let that 20 years ago, man, I just got
Oh.
the guy had a nice Johnson, man, he busted it out. I'm still thinking about him 20 years later. And I just want to get it off my chest. How could you tell me how you would take that shit?
I didn't
You
say I
asked
would
me.
do anything. I was just asking you what you would do.
Yeah, so why you asking me a question that you guys couldn't answer me?
Because I
Come
need
on.
to know. Because I need to know what
Let me
people
tell you
would
this.
do or what they went
Let me
through
give
or
you some
what's going
background.
on in real life.
Before we got married, right? Before we got married, we were in the fiance stage. She got it into her mind that she wanted to tell me some of her experiences, before we got married. And I felt it that she was getting ready to confess some shit, right? I don't know what it was gonna be. I said, listen, let me stop your ass right there. I don't want to know none of that shit. I don't want to hear it. We weren't
Let me
married,
stop
so
your ass
I,
right now.
let me stop you right there. What makes you
Our
think I
pain.
want to
What is
hear?
going on? Why do
Let
you?
me finish.
Why do you have
Let
so
me
many
finish
different
this.
things going through your mind of what the possibilities could be?
Oh, come on. I mean, I know what I would do. I mean, shit, I'm not even an international lover. If I get a piece, I know what I was doing to the honeys. Get the hell out of here. So all I'm just trying to say is this. I told her, don't tell me.
You know what you would do, any pain.
No, are
Yeah.
you kidding? Listen, I told her this. If you learn some shit, I said, if you learn some shit, I better get every shit you learn better be applying to me from now on. We never talk about it again. So if you learn this, you learn that, and I let it go there because she
Well,
was a woman.
here's the reason why I asked you the question. I'm about to open up a
Yes,
fortune.
please tell me why.
This fortune cookie is for you, our pain. Okay.
Oh,
Here's the reason
Jesus
why I'm
Christ.
asking you this question. It says, "Oh, this ain't a gift from nature will soon be coming your way." I don't know what that means. All right. So this is the reason why I asked because I'm asking, what advice would you give a younger person that then found himself in that same type of situation?
That he found out 20 years later that his wife was cheating on him.
He found it
Well,
out in the past. It could have been a year ago, 2 years ago. It could have been
I'm
whatever.
telling you know what? That's a man individual thing, right? But I would tell him, listen, I would tell him how I would react. But even that's still subject. It's not as objective as it would be for him. But I think every man who's worth their grain in salt, if the woman you dedicated your life to, because come on, man, you guys are married. Well, how
I
many
don't think
things
you
is at
walk.
the
I don't
top of
think
the
you
list?
walk away, Arpain.
How many things at the top of the list? If
I
you
don't think
come
you
on,
leave.
Anton, I'm not gonna go ahead. Say what you're gonna say,
I
brother.
don't think you leaving her, bro.
Well, listen, okay, I'll concede that it's easy to say here on the
I
screen,
don't think
right?
you going nowhere, Arpain.
Yeah, but what would I do staying here though?
I
You
don't think
gonna
you're
just
going
stay here?
nowhere. I just
But
don't
you
think
think
you're
I'll
going
say
nowhere, bro.
you say I'll forgive you, honey. Forget
I think you
about it.
sticking
This and
around.
that. I want to give you a. I want to say you're crazy, and I
Look,
think
this
you
is a
are.
new
But
look. I just
the
opened
point
this
I'm trying
fortune
to say is,
cookie. I just opened this fortune
yeah,
cookie for you. You know what it says?
I
Come on,
can't
let me
read
see.
this shit, man.
It said recent discoveries will lead you in a new direction.
Stop
Okay, that's what I'm
bullshitting,
saying.
man.
I'll be in the row
That's what
house.
it says.
Be in
Stop
the row
playing,
house. That's
AD.
a new direction.
This
You
is
said,
what it say. Look, I'm about to show it to you.
That's
I'll be in a row
crazy.
house somewhere.
Now I'm telling you what
No,
it says. It says recent discoveries will lead you.
in a new direction. To be honest with you, Anton, I
Look,
hear what you're saying.
recent
I'm making it
discoveries will
sound
lead you in a new direction. It say it right there from P.F.
Now
Chang's.
so do.
I hear you. Let me,
That's
let me tell
crazy.
you this, Anton. Let me tell you this,
I'm
Anton.
finna log off this shit right now.
I'm gonna leave this right here because you two guys don't be disingenuous on how you would answer that question. I do hear what you're saying. If it was 20 years ago, 50 years, I'm sounding easier said than done. I hear you. I hear that. I recognize that, but I can't. I won't be able to forget. I won't be able to really forgive. I just won't be. I don't think I would be. Now, what I would do after that,
I
I'm
got to
thinking
get
I would
you up
move.
here, Arpane. That you have
All
been a
right,
good
man.
sport, my friend.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right,
How
Big
come I get
Pain.
that question? You ain't asked nobody that question. Hey, when you get to 36 years, I'm gonna ask your ass that same thing, man. Just later, man.
All right, Arpane. I appreciate you, bro.